Hello there, welcome to ITV News Meridian.
Tonight's headlines in the southeast. A mum and her teenage daughter are found dead in a burger van in Whitstable. It's thought they were exposed to carbon monoxide as they worked inside.
3 men in their 20s and 30s are killed in a car crash in heavy fog in Eastbourne as witnesses are urged to come forward.
Also tonight, the Brighton street blighted by buses. People who live there say hundreds of diversions are making people's lives a misery.
And from the Britain's Got Talent final to a theatre near you, the man they call Magical Bones joins us in the studio. Good evening. Tributes are being paid tonight to a mother and daughter who were found dead in a burger van in Whitstable in Kent. The bodies of 50-year-old Leah Churchill and Brooke Wanstall, who was 17, were found by Brooke's brother.
It's thought they were exposed to carbon monoxide as they decorated the van. In the last hour, balloons have been released in their memory on the seafront at Herne Bay. Tony Green has been speaking to the family. We can join him now live. Tony, such sudden and shocking events.
Yeah, this is an awful tragedy. The loss of 2 lives, 2 generations from the same family. That's Leah Churchill, who was 50, and her daughter, Brooke Wanstall, who was just 17 years old. And their bodies were discovered by Tyler Wanstall, who's Brooke's brother and Leah's son. Tyler runs the burger van, which is called Meets and Greets, which is on the Old Thanet Way in Whitstable. And that's where the bodies were discovered yesterday morning. It's thought that the 2 women had inhaled carbon monoxide fumes from a generator that's normally kept outside of the building. I spoke to Tyler earlier and asked him what had happened.
And when I got to the burger van, 8 o'clock, I was running an hour late, admittedly, it was my birthday. Just got there, my mum's car's outside. I've opened the door, sort of shout, "What you doing here?" And you don't even want to know what I saw, but what I saw weren't good. It was my mum and my sister, and they weren't alive. And my sister's a baby, she's 17, and she just shouldn't. Do you know what I mean? It shouldn't happen.
Now that happened yesterday, which was Valentine's Day, which was obviously Tyler's birthday. And today, here in Herne Bay, just a few moments ago in fact, friends and families gathered here and released balloons over the sea in memory of the 2 women. There were dozens of people here, all visibly upset for such a sudden loss of life. I asked them to pay tribute to their mother and a sister that they'd lost. This is Tyler and also Tyler's sister, Ocean.
My mum done anything for anyone. My mum would take homeless man in off the streets if she could. If
Literally.
we let her. She would. She would. My sister, she was the most loving,
dramatic
yeah,
but bubbly person you'd ever meet in your
she
life.
was just a sarky little 17-year-old girl. She had a whole life ahead of her.
Well, Kent Police in a statement confirmed that they were called to that burger van yesterday morning at 8:17 a.m. following reports of concerns for the welfare of 2 women inside. South East Coast Ambulance Service also attended, and they confirmed that a woman in her 50s and a teenage girl were pronounced deceased. Those deaths are not being treated as suspicious, and a report is being prepared for the coroner. But of course, nobody can be prepared for such a sudden and shocking loss of life, a birthday surprise that's just ended in tragedy.
Sad news there. Tony, thank you.
In other news tonight, another 3 teenagers have been arrested after a 16-year-old boy was stabbed in Worthing on Monday. The boy suffered life-threatening injuries and remains in hospital in a serious condition. 5 boys in total have been arrested. A Section 60 order has been put in place in Worthing Town Centre, giving police additional powers to search anyone without grounds and seize weapons.
2 men have been jailed for a total of 22.5 years for the rape and sexual assault of a teenager in Brighton. 36-year-old Ashley Lewis and 18-year-old Dylan Holden attacked the young woman in Pavilion Gardens in June last year.
Plans to drill for oil in the Surrey countryside near Gatwick Airport will go before the Supreme Court. Government watchdog the Office for Environmental Protection wants a judicial review into whether Surrey County Council acted lawfully by not requiring the developer to assess the impact of future greenhouse gas emissions. UK Oil and Gas wants to create 4 new oil wells in Horse Hill near Hawley, which has caused opposition from people who live locally.
Sussex police are appealing for witnesses to a crash that killed 3 men in their 20s and 30s. It happened in heavy fog in Eastbourne on Monday night.
Well, it's thought no other vehicle was involved. An investigation is underway. Kit Bradshaw is at the scene for us this evening. Kit, what more can you tell us about what happened?
Well, Matt, locals tell me it was pretty foggy on Monday evening when at around 11 p.m. a single vehicle crashed in this pretty residential and leafy area of Eastbourne. Now, all 3 occupants of that vehicle were pronounced dead at the scene. And in the past few minutes, Sussex Police has given us more details about those victims. They were a 21-year-old man, Daniel Davis, a 32-year-old, Jonathan Day, and a 36-year-old, John Tommy Miller. And they were all from the Berkshire area. Now, it's thought the vehicle left the road and collided with a tree, and there's extensive damage to that tree behind me. And we can see bits of glass and pieces of other vehicle debris actually embedded in the bark of that tree. Some local residents I've been speaking to say they are very shocked about what's happened.
Just in my head, trying to work out what had happened. We live around the corner. We've just come for a walk this afternoon. Just walking. We normally walk this way. I heard no one else was involved. Obviously doing significant speed.
But I mean, now it looks lovely and easy to go through, but there's no lights at all, and you are completely in the dark. So if someone was coming through here and hadn't got their lights on or didn't know and are going too fast, yeah, easy to go into a tree or something like that. You just can't see anything.
Now, the crash site itself is off Decoy Drive on a cut-through from Hampden Park, and it's actually a 15-mile-per-hour speed limit road. Police say no other car was involved, and they're working to establish the full circumstances of what happened. And officers are appealing for any witnesses, anyone with CCTV or dash cam, to come forward, and they will surely be trying to establish how a vehicle, such a deadly crash, happened on what is normally such a low-speed environment.
OK, for now, Kit Bradshaw, thank you.
People living along a street in Brighton claim their lives are becoming a nightmare as hundreds of buses every day are diverted down their road.
A project to revamp Western Road in the city centre means traffic could be redirected for up to 2 years along Upper North Street. Campaigners have now threatened legal action against Brighton and Hove City Council, fearing that if they don't, someone's going to be seriously injured. With more, here's James Dunham.
If Lawrence, Gillian and Andrew were stood at a bus stop on their road, they'd have no problem catching one. We positioned our camera in one spot for 10 minutes, and in that time we saw 10 buses turning onto Upper North Street. They are among the 690 diverted here each day, which have become an unwelcome soundtrack to the lives of residents.
People are just losing their sleep. The last bus stops at 3:30 in the morning. First bus comes 5:50, and I know that because I get woken up, other people get woken up.
From a top floor window, which is now eye level with top deck passengers, we witnessed a van mounting the pavement to allow a double-decker through.
My wife pulled out of the front door here the other day, and the car was on the pavement avoiding a bus and missed her by this much, you know. So, I mean, nobody wants that. I'm sure the drivers don't want it, you know. We certainly don't.
Local councillors have apologised for the diversion's impact caused by works to make the city centre more attractive. As you can see, this part of Western Road is closed. It's the main artery for buses heading towards Brighton's city centre shops, and while the work takes place along there, all of the buses are having to be redirected up residential streets. Alternative routes, the council say, were considered but deemed unsuitable.
2021, I think January to March or something, they consulted on this. No diversion.
Campaign leader Gillian tells me residents were only made aware of the diversion last November. She's written to the City Council to tell them legal action's been launched, claiming the consultation wasn't carried out properly and a law preventing heavy vehicles on this street is being breached. You are prepared to see them in court?
I'm absolutely prepared to see them in court. I cannot live with with the risk that somebody is seriously injured. We've got noise pollution, we've got visual pollution, we have people who look in on the top from a double-decker bus into our bedrooms and into our living rooms. You know, if this was going to be a housing development, planners would never allow this to happen.
Brighton and Hove City Council told us it's considering the potential legal challenge and can't comment further at this stage. The authority doesn't have to look far to see the strength of feeling from residents. James Dunham, ITV News, Brighton.
A community who settled in Sussex after being forced from their home in the Indian Ocean are victims of crimes against humanity, according to a report published today. Around 3,000 Chagos Islanders settled in Crawley. The entire population of the Chagos group of islands was removed by the UK and US governments in the 60s and 70s, so a US military base could be built on Diego Garcia. Their return has been blocked. Human Rights Watch has accused the UK of racial persecution and committing an appalling colonial crime. It says Chagosians must be compensated and be allowed back.
My mum, they went to Mauritius to have some treatment with her parents, and afterward they were not allowed. Like most of them, they've been told that those islands already been sold and they can't return back, so they were stranded in Mauritius. It was not easy at all because they faced lots of discrimination. They were often looked down upon the Chagosian people.
The fast-moving farce of the Margate Banksy continue today, and it looks like it's far from over. Yesterday morning, the artwork depicting a housewife with a swollen eye highlighting domestic violence was confirmed as a Banksy and valued at up to £2 million. Hours later, Thanet Council officials removed two of its features, a freezer and a chair, declaring them a health and safety hazard. Well, today, to a mixed reception, the freezer was returned after being made safe, but there are now security concerns about the artwork, and next steps are far from clear.
Now, you're watching ITV News Meridian. Still to come on tonight's programme, taking on an epic challenge. Young swimmers from Hastings embark on a marathon quest.
And they've finally done it. Gillingham say they're now looking up the table after climbing out of the drop zone. Andrew will be here.
More on all of our stories today, of course, on our website. The address on the screen, itv.com/Meridian. You can call us 0808 1010 095. And as ever, you can follow on social media.
And the ITV Evening News continues with the national and international news at 6:30. Here's Mary Nightingale.
Coming up in the programme, Nicola Sturgeon steps down as Scotland's First Minister.
There is a much greater intensity, dare I say it, brutality to life as a politician than in years gone by.
We will be reflecting on Nicola Sturgeon's career and asking what next for the SNP and Scottish independence. We'll have the very latest as police give an update in their investigation into the disappearance of Nicola Bulley. And could Wales's rugby players be going on strike? Do join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Stay with sport. Andrew joins us in the studio. And Andrew, we're going to celebrate it. The Gills finally done it. It's taken a while.
Yeah, at last. I mean, that's right. After 12 long weeks in the League Two relegation zone, Gillingham have finally moved above the dreaded drop zone. Last night's late win over Grimsby was the Gills' fourth victory in 6 matches. But a defeat for Crawley means they're now just a place above the drop and non-league football.
Zero Accounting Software sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
The Gills had dropped into the relegation zone on November the 19th. And this is what it meant to finally get out again. But manager Neil Harris was not impressed with his side in the first half, saying afterwards, to not boo that rubbish was the crowd's biggest achievement. But things changed after the break, with George Lapsley giving the Gills the lead. After Grimsby equalised, Gillingham kept on pressing. But it wasn't until the 87th minute they finally added the winner January signing Ollie Hawkins with a fantastic header. Which means the Gills will be full of confidence ahead of their trip to bottom place Rochdale on Saturday. What a start by Crawley. Jack Powell with a beauty of a free kick after 9 minutes. But in form, promotion-chasing Stockport couldn't be stopped. And next up for Crawley, a trip to top of the table, Leyton Orient. Now, 3 boys from Hastings Seagull Swimming Club are taking on a 12-hour challenge to raise money for Ukrainian children whose lives have been affected by the war. Each of the youngsters is hoping to cover 8 miles in a relay tomorrow, so they've been training hard in preparation, as Tom Savides found out.
There's no stopping these two. Jonathan Hibbs, who's 9, and James Fisher, aged 11, are busy training for a swimming challenge. Tomorrow, the youngsters will join 11-year-old Elijah Bigg to take part in a 12-hour charity relay in Bodiam. Money raised will go towards helping children in war-torn Ukraine.
And why do you think it's important for children like you to do something like that for the children in Ukraine?
I think it's important because they deserve the same things that we have.
Well, we're just trying to do our part. I mean, everyone should try and do their part for the children. People like us have no clue what they're going through.
The boys have spent weeks preparing for the event.
They each swim multiple hours a week, but in between time they've been doing some longer distance swims, trying to build their stamina because they are going to have to swim quite a long way.
During the 12-hour session, each of the 3 boys will swim for about 4 hours, each covering around 8 miles. The relay aims to raise thousands of pounds for the international charity Novi, which purchases play kits for children in bomb shelters in Ukraine.
I feel not only empowered by their actions, but encouraged by their passion to help.
3 young boys from Sussex using their swimming skills to improve the lives of children in Ukraine. Tom Savides, ITV News, Robertsbridge.
Love that. Absolutely fabulous.
Absolutely. Andrew, thank you.
Now, he's been described as one of the most exciting talents to hit the magic scene in years. Richard Essian is better known to many as Magical Bones.
Well, as a professional hip-hop dancer, his unique combination of skills saw him to the final of Britain's Got Talent in 2020, and he's since worked with some of the biggest artists on the planet. He's about to go on a UK tour to theatres, including Bognor Regis and Tunbridge Wells.
And Richard is with us now. Magical Bones, thank you so much for coming in. So this is quite unique, magic and hip-hop. How did that come together?
Well, my name's Magical Bones. I was a hip-hop dancer before I was a professional magician. I did start magic as a little kid. And then I started incorporating the magic tricks I learned as a little kid into my dance routines when I used to dance on the street. And it evolved, and then I came out with the name Magical Bones, and it just progressed from there, really.
So from there to Britain's Got Talent, a few years in between, now your own show. Basically rushing through it because we want to see some stuff.
Yes, yeah, I've did so many things, been in West End, Britain's Got Talent, and now I'm going to go on an exciting UK tour to show the UK my magic, so I'm really excited about that.
And it's called Soulful Magic, but can we please see some magic
Yes,
tricks?
I'm going to show you some of my favourite tricks. This is a little bit of a flavour of what's going to be in the show. I'm going to start with one of my favourite tricks. This is actually a quick trick, and I've got a couple of receipts here. Let me just start with this. I've got some receipts, some lottery tickets, some vouchers. I mean, this is just paper. Mm-hmm. And you notice I'm not one of those magicians that hides things in their sleeves. I don't have anything in my sleeves. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say 20, 40, 60, 80, don't blink, I snap, and these will visibly change.
You can stay.
To money. And this is real money. In fact, I'm going to count this for you really slowly so you can see. There's 20, that's 40, that's 60, that's 80, that's 100 English pounds. And there is some good news. Every other day I actually give these away, but this is the other day, so don't get too excited.
It's like working here.
I'm going to turn these back into receipts because, or because I can.
Wow. Wow.
And that's just what your magic looks like.
Wow.
Okay. So yeah, that's a quick one, but this is actually my favourite trick I want to show you. This is one of the favourite tricks. And if this goes well, I actually have a little gift, which I'm going to give to you at the end of this.
Thank you.
But I've got a pack of playing cards here. And I'll hold this up to the camera so everyone at home can see. These are all different. They're not in any particular order. Sangeeta, I'm going to run through the deck like this. I'd like you just to say stop. Okay. You're going to take a card, look at it, remember it, and then I'd like you to show the camera. I'll look away this way so I can't see, okay? So I'm going to run through like that. You just say stop, all right? So
okay. Stop.
There. Take that card. Don't show it to me, okay? You look at it, remember, I'm making sure, Matt, you can make sure I'm looking this way as well. Hold the camera up, so hold the card up, sorry, so everyone can see. And I really need you to follow my instructions carefully. So hold the card up with both hands. Make sure you've got it, hold it with both hands. Okay, nice and still. And you're going to follow my instructions. We're going to break this down into little pieces. I'd like you to rip that card up in half. So rip the card up in half, but just do this in your mind. So don't actually rip the card up. This is it's a brand new deck.
That's too late, sorry.
Is that, oh, you actually did rip the card up. Okay, that's fine.
Can't take me anywhere.
This is live entertainment. Okay, that's cool. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a different trick, guys. You know what? Just keep ripping it up into little pieces. Let me show you actually a different trick. Let me see if I've got a different. Yeah, keep ripping it up into little pieces. I'll show you. I'll do a bonus trick.
Okay.
And then I'll do the trick I actually wanted to show you. That's fine. I'll take that from you. That's fine.
So sorry.
It's fine. It's not your fault. It's kind of my fault. I chose you to do this part. Do you know what? You can have that little bit as a souvenir. Have I got a pen here? I don't think I have got a pen.
Need a pen?
You can take, you take that as a little souvenir and take the pen, Sangeeta, and just do it. Let's just do this quick bonus trick. Wave it over my hand in a nice and magical way. That's really magical, that's good. All those pieces have now disappeared.
Wow.
And they've reappeared inside your pocket. Matt, have a look. Go on, have a look.
One.
Maybe the other one. I'm just kidding, stop looking. That would have been an amazing trick. No, I'm not that good. I tell you what, those pieces haven't just disappeared, they've reappeared, restored back together. And this is where it gets a bit crazy, because remember I told you I had something for you at the beginning of this. Inside here is a chocolate bar, not just any chocolate bar. And this is for you, Sangeeta, not just any chocolate bar.
Sorry, it's not for you, Matt.
Do you know what, can you pull that out for me?
Yeah, the whole bar?
Yeah, just the whole bar. I just want to show you inside.
Can I take it out?
It's a card, yes, not just any card. Take out the card.
Tell us what card it is, Matt. What card is it?
The
Three of Clubs.
It's the Three of Clubs.
And it's got a piece missing. If you just match that up, that, ladies and gentlemen, if you do it the other way around, is a perfect match.
No way! Good luck with your
Magical
tour.
Bones.
Fantastic.
You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I just don't know what to say, so let's just get the weather. Here's James Wright.
Feels like home, whatever the weather. Valent Boilers and Heat Pumps sponsors ITV Meridian Weather.
Hi there, good evening. Hope you've been enjoying the sunshine recently, because it could be at a bit of a premium the next few days. We've already got some cloud moving through over the next few hours. The odd spot of rain, but it is joined up to the next bit of cloud that will continue to push through overnight. And again, a little more of a splash of rain from time to time. Temperatures, though, much milder than we've seen over the last few nights, looking at lows of 6 to 8 Celsius. So certainly frost-free. Now, as far as tomorrow goes, a bit grey, damp and murky. We haven't had much rain over the last few weeks, so that could be quite useful. A lot of cloud into the afternoon, like I say, quite low in places. Might see a little bit of brightness pushing in across the north and the west later on, but it might not get to us before the sun goes down. Temperature-wise, though, still on the mild side, 10 or 11 Celsius. Might not feel it because of that breeze, particularly brisk around the coast. But we are into a bit of a pattern pattern of more changeable weather. It's not going to be sunny all the time. There'll be a lot of cloud around, the odd outbreak of rain. But we do have high pressure to the south of us, the lows away to the north, so no rain should be particularly heavy. And because of the flow of the air coming up from the mid-Atlantic before moving in from the west, it is going to continue to be mild. So we're looking at highs of around 14 or 15 Celsius on Friday, in spite of the clouds. But notice the isobars, quite a lot of them on this chart, so it is going to be rather breezy, particularly around the coast. Then the wind drops out for Saturday, might be a touch cooler, but hopefully a touch brighter too, with highs of around 13 Celsius. And then Sunday, chances are it's going to be a little bit on the damp side. Have a good evening.
Valent sponsors ITV Meridian Weather.
We're still trying to work out what exactly Magical Bones did.
I don't like not knowing how things work. It bothers me. It'll bother me all evening.
Do you know what? I was so convinced that the card was in your pocket because I could hear something rustling.
Do you know what you could hear?
What could I hear rustling?
The spare button from my seat. It wasn't the card.
I literally
Is
thought,
this the card?
I thought it was going to be in there. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.